everyone, welcome again in STEM Club India webcast, conversation with top educators. Today we have Mr. Amit Kumar Jain, Director, Oak Ridge International School. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Yashraj. Pleasure having you.
All right, so we'll start with a small introduction. Mr. Jain holds 17 plus years of rich experience, graduate from Osmania University and postgraduate from XLRI Jamshedpur, has been associated with Hindustan Aeronautics and Tata Inplate. In 2017, he was awarded with Education Leadership Award, started his journey as management trainee, and now he is Director, Oak Ridge International School. So, sir, to begin with, we start with a very simple question. How is the journey so far?
Yes, Raj, thank you for the lovely introduction. I think, it has been a great journey. Career-wise, I think I have moved many industries, worked for different companies, which is public sector, private sector. And I think what resonates with me very well is the education industry. And I think it's a wonderful field, and especially the K-12 education part in the country. And when we look at international education in India, while there are many myths associated with the K-12 international schooling, but I think Oak Ridge has been a pioneer in this area, and I love to be with this organization.
All right, great. So, sir, I'd say it's a very versatile kind of roles you have done. So, what was that point, sir, which made you realize that now you need to become an educator, shifted from corporate world to education?
So, Yashraj, I think that's a wonderful question, and I think many of the youth today probably would be wondering, whether education is a great career, because most of the youth are always there is a feel that education or teaching is a secondary field for many of the youth. However, let me tell you how this started was, I don't know if you remember, about 8 to 10 years ago, we have been hearing a lot of news about how the youth in the country, or the graduates, college graduates, even from the prestigious institutes of engineering and sciences, were not employable by the industry. And I think it was very, very shocking to hear about the figures which came out in various surveys at that point in time, that less than 8% of the youth from engineering colleges are actually employable by the industry. And I had myself been in the corporate field, and I have visited so many colleges across the country for the recruitment of the students. And when I saw that, I really felt what is missing is not what we are doing in the higher education. It's not the fault of the children. Somewhere it was the fault of the system, and it all stemmed from the basic schooling. And I think if we were to set that right, we had to set things right at the foundation level, which is the K-12 schooling. And that's where I think the association with K-12 schooling started.
All right. Okay. So you realize that you need to be part of the system to make it a better one. All right. Going forward, sir, just to know, there are many celebrities and ideals. Everybody has maybe some inspiration. So what do you have? So any ideal, any celebrity, or any inspiration you want to share with us?
Oh, okay. I think while I do have many, but I think what I would like to definitely talk about is the so-called missile man of India, who has really been an inspiration probably to millions of youth across the country and across the world. Our ex-president, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. And I think no better man to talk, who can epitomize a great teacher and an inspiring mind.
Okay, perfect, and makes sense. And I am pretty sure, sir, he is ideal to many, and he's the one inspiration to many, and he should be, because he has delivered and given so much to the country that whatever you'll say is basically is less in his respect. So, any quote or mantra you follow?
Oh, I think Dr. Kalam has been phenomenal in his career, and I think every aspect or every day of his life probably can be an inspirational story for us. But one thing, especially in my present role in the leadership, I think one particular thought that Dr. Kalam has expressed in one of his talks, I remember very distinctly, and I do love that, is about how a leader should behave both in the times of successes and failures. So you take the failure on your head as a leader, but then when there's a success, you bring forward your team. And I think that really defines what leadership is all about. And I really distinctly remember the narration that Dr. Kalam did about this whole story in ISRO.
As a true leader, you have given a very true message to maybe to all the young educators who are budding educators, becoming and looking at becoming a director or principals going forward. So this is a good learning maybe for everyone. So, Noor, on your school days, what was your favorite sport?
Oh, okay. I was not a very sporty person to say so during my school days,
Okay,
but I always loved to play basketball.
right, makes sense. And your hobbies?
Okay. I think I love to learn. I think learning probably is my hobby. And I always say that, the day you stop learning is the last day of your life, probably. So I think every day is an opportunity for us to learn. And, and especially the last 15, 18 months have been a great experience personally for me. It has really taught me how you can utilize your time, and as they say, convert the adversity into an opportunity.
Yeah.
And I think I have utilized almost all of these 16, 18 months, where we have not been able to spend a lot of our time with the world outside. Picked up a lot of things. For example, I love painting, so I started painting of late. I picked up, I learn actually a lot from my kids. I have
Okay.
two daughters, and I really appreciate them because they never stop amazing me, and I never stop learning from them. So I picked up, playing keyboard with one of my daughters, and I think it's wonderful. I think it has been a great journey in the last 18 months in terms of learning.
Perfect. This is the one best thing we can do, that at least we can be positive of what happened, what is happening. So, well said, sir. Now, going on in the next section, sir, it is more towards on your feedback, thoughts, observation on STEM, what is happening in our country. So, but what are your thoughts on STEM education? Is it changing lives of young students?
Yeah, I think, personally, I feel that though STEM is not something new. I think we have been, since the day the term was coined way back in 2001 to 2004 period. I think National Foundation for Science, Dr. Ramle was one who has coined this term called STEM. But since that time, if you see, STEM is nothing new to India, for example, right?
Okay.
Our whole the internet revolution that was there sometime back, and probably the engineering revolution that we saw in India, where all the factors which were stemming from curriculums across the STEM.
Yeah.
However, what is very interesting about STEM is that one, it helps students develop higher order thinking skills.
Okay.
And especially helps them to develop skills which are so relevant for the 21st century. It doesn't look at each of these particular subjects in isolation. It integrates them together. So it's an interdisciplinary approach of looking at this. And second is that it's very, very real life oriented. I think that's what makes STEM particularly interesting for school students.
Okay.
And indeed, at Oak Ridge, we have moved away from STEM and gone one step ahead to call it a STEAM now. That is science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. I think because none of these streams do not exist. I don't probably see any profession in the future, or any area of work in the future which would not involve these STEM or STEAM elements going forward. So even when people talk about having humanities, careers in humanities, I don't think that it will be away from any of the STEM or STEAM curriculum subject that we're talking about today.
There will be many jobs which will not be there in 2025 or 30. Is it STEM, STEAM, or STREAM is doing justice for that?
Yeah. So Yashwant, I think probably one mistake that we are doing today as educators is not realizing the fact that if we teach our children the way we have learned,
Yeah.
I think we are going to rob them of their future, because as we have seen in the last few months, that uncertainty is the word of the day.
Yeah.
We would not ever realize what is going to come in the next 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, or 5 years. Forget about when we are discussing when we're talking about the young children who are still in their schooling, we are talking probably about 15, 20 years down the line. And God knows how the world would look like at that point in time. And, I actually love Peter Diamandis here. And when he says that we cannot predict beyond a few years, probably we'll be doing a big mistake if we are thinking of preparing our children for the future, because nobody has seen the future.
Yeah.
The only thing we can do today and the way we can rectify our mistake is that we need to prepare them for this with the skills which would be necessary for this century and probably the next century, because that is what is going to shape up their lives as we move forward.
Yes.
Any particular subject, any particular profession or area may not even exist a few years down the line. But what would surely exist going down the line is the skills that we develop in our students. So the 21st century skills, as we call them, whether it is collaboration, creativity, communication, so all of these skills that we talk about in the 21st century are the things that probably will remain with them.
As you covered the point, what we need to do for as a young educator. So any key message you want to give, sir?
I think first two messages, Yashraj here. One is that be proud to be in a profession where you're trying to shape the lives of the future. Be passionate about what you are doing, and don't take education as a secondary job in your life, because you're really one. It is definitely very, very satisfying career to be in. So please do. I request all the passionate young people who want to make change in the lives of the future generation to take up education as a career. And second is that embrace yourself for change. Be open-minded, have a growth mindset, and think of what the world would look like a few years down the line.
Yep.
And contribute in terms of how you can make every child in the school really develop to their full potential.
Exactly. Okay, and so your message to young students?
I think I would go back to Dr. Kalam here. And I think one most important message I would like to give to all the young students out in the country and the world today is that don't stop being curious.
Okay. This is one powerful message I'll say, sir. Be extrovert and try to be curious. Now, so just want to have your thoughts on anything you have done new or some achievement you want to share as a Oak Ridge group, because this is one inspirational school for many.
Okay. So Yashraj, I can go on for hours on this particular thing, but I think one thing that I would want to highlight here is our collaboration of Oak Ridge North Anglia schools with MIT Boston, because we have developed a very sort of a symbiotic relationship with MIT.
All right.
Where the students of Oak Ridge North Anglia schools across the world have an opportunity to interact with the research scholars, the professors, and who's who in the MIT. And we have various mechanisms of interacting with them. For example, we have home labs section where some of these research scholars from MIT share simple experiments that can be done at home by our children. And this has been a major hit in the last 15, 18 months. And these experiments help them not only to have fun at home, but at the same time explore complex subjects of science in a very, very simple manner.
Yep.
I know one thing which is my favorite of last few experiments was measuring the frequency of a microwave radiation using chocolate bars.
All right.
So I think that I think every child in our school loved it. So there are various ways in which we create these integration of these STEM subjects into the real life of the students, and the collaboration with MIT of Oak Ridge North Anglia is probably a very, very unique thing which no other schools across the world have. And I think that is something that we are very, very proud, and our students just love it.
I'm pretty sure, sir. This is a very unique, as you mentioned, it's a unique association and collaboration, and also at the same time, you are given a next level of, I'll say, exposure to student. So, moving ahead, sir, just a couple of questions on a rapid fire side, maybe just to know you better again. Starting with one, your favorite subject.
I think no doubt it's science.
All right. So, your not so favorite subject.
To hate the subject called civics in my school.
Okay, got it. And so, your favorite sport now, as you mentioned, you played basketball school days. What any sport or fitness activity you follow now?
So I love cycling basically right now. So indeed, I have a target of completing 1,000 kilometers of cycling in the next 3 months.
All right, interesting. Your favorite cuisine?
Oh, so I'm a vegetarian and I really love the vegetarian Rajasthani cuisine.
All right. Your dream vacation, sir?
Oh, my dream vacation probably would be Singapore.
Okay. And
Because again, I love that country for I love that country for the opportunities it provided. It provides for one to enjoy the stay along with the learning that it provides.
yeah, I also love that country. Every country has their unique proposition, but they are doing some interesting stuff, which is basically, I'll say, interesting for every age, everyone, every genre. There are many projects which are going on in STEM, STEAM stream. Just want to have your preference. For example, artificial intelligence, drone, F1 in schools, robotics, coding. So your preference.
So I personally love F1 in schools. So I know you're hosting this, but I definitely love F1 in schools. That's one of my favorite activities.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. And if you were a student, sir, what program you have opted?
Okay, I think if I were a student, had I had an opportunity to select a program in STEM, I think I would definitely love to get into F1, whether it is in schools or probably jumping into a Ferrari.
Great. So this session was on the STEM front. We have another series which will be starting in December on sports and fitness. We'll take your inputs and thoughts, what school is doing in that. We thank you for your time and for all your suggestions, support, thought, and observations. Any concluding comments that you have, we'll be more than happy to have it.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It was a pleasure.
All right.
I think do continue to do the lovely work that you're doing. And I just wish that we can have you back in the schools with all the cylinders firing.